Welcome to Happy Healthy Living with Yvonne Douglas. My name is Doug, and today we have a very special guest. It's Chef Yvonne, or I should say my spouse, and he is the chef for Garden Cup. And you might have heard of Garden Cup. They are a nationwide healthy food delivery service. And he's going to join us today and make something really special. It is a shrimp salad bowl with a creamy cilantro lime dressing, and I know you guys are going to love it. Stay tuned.
Okay, y'all, so the very first thing you're going to do is you're going to make your roasted poblano pepper. We're going to roast it on a skillet. And after we do that, we place it in a bag, a plastic bag, to let it sweat. And then we'll start peeling it. So as you can see, Yvonne is peeling it there. And you want to make sure it's totally peeled. Once that is done, you're going to take out all the seeds and just open it up and clean it out. Then you could see Vani's going to start to slice it. And once he slices it, he's going to then dice it. And you want to make sure you have nice clean cuts. And that's all you do for the poblano pepper. Okay, so for the medley, you're going to need half cup of chopped red onion, half cup of diced tomatoes, 1 can of corn, 1 can of black beans, the poblano peppers, 2 tablespoons of lime juice, about 1/4 of a cup of cilantro. You're going to need 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, onion powder, and black pepper. And you're also going to need approximately a tablespoon of diced green onion. So now we're adding our corn, and next we're going to be adding our black beans, then our poblano pepper, tomatoes, red onion, the lime juice, the diced onion or green onion, the garlic powder, the onion powder, the cilantro, and then we're going to add the black pepper. And that is your medley. After that, you want to just mix it all together, and that's all you do. Step 2 is cook up your shrimp. So as you can see, we're using some extra virgin olive oil on our shrimp, probably about a tablespoon. And then we're going to add this seasoning, rotisserie chicken seasoning, and that is very important for the shrimp. And we're using 2 tablespoons there. And then we're going to be using 1 tablespoon of lemon juice. So we're going to be adding some lemon juice to this. Now the shrimp that we're using is deveined and the tail is off, and we're going to be cooking this in some butter. We're using about a tablespoon of butter we're going to be using. So after we toss this together, as you can see, we're mixing it really well. We want to make sure the shrimp is coated. Then we're adding it to that butter. And remember, that's 1 tablespoon of butter. And we want to cook our shrimp. Make sure that they are separated. You don't want them on top of each other. And we're going to cook them for around 6 minutes or so. You want to make sure that they're pink. But we're going to be using a calibrated thermometer to test the shrimp, making sure it's at least 170 degrees. And as you can see, it's going up there, and it's 100 and 70 degrees. Step 3, make your rice. So we're going to cook up 1 cup of rice and 1.5 cups of water, and we're going to add 1 tablespoon of butter. Just cook it till it's light and fluffy. And step 4 is make your creamy cilantro lime dressing.
Okay, so we're back. Hi, Yvonne. How you doing?
I am doing great. Just enjoying my cocktail.
And we're going to talk about that cocktail later because we'll be doing a video over this delicious drink.
Which is called, what is the name?
I forgot the name.
Agua fresca.
Agua fresca.
Very yummy.
It is very yummy. All right, so what have we done so far? Well, we made the rice and we made the...
That's a black bean and roasted poblano pepper medley.
Okay, and we also cooked up our shrimp.
Right.
Now, this salad or bowl...
It's a bowl.
It's a bowl, and it's going to be cold. All right, so we're going to be eating this cold.
We're gonna eat it cold, but you can warm it up if you want to. But
Okay.
you know the advantage of eating this salad, is very versatile. You can eat it cold or you can eat it warm. It's up to you.
Awesome. All right, so we're ready for the dressing. So
Yes.
take it away.
All right. So to make the dressing, we need a pound of sour cream, which I already have it in here. And then we need 8 to 10 cloves of garlic, depending on the size. These are quite large, so I'm just using 8. So we're going to add them in here. And then you want this dressing to be, it's going to be citrusy, but also really fresh. So I actually use also English cucumber. So we're gonna throw those in here.
It's called an English cucumber?
It's an English cucumber.
Okay.
I prefer that because they actually hold a lot better, and they don't get that mushy. So it'll help the dressing is going to it's going to be fresh for about 5 days.
Okay.
And so, yeah, I use that. And then we're going to use 2 tablespoons of fresh lime juice. We're actually, for our spices, I use a tablespoon of onion powder and a tablespoon of garlic powder, and then a teaspoon of ground black pepper.
So not cracked black pepper?
No, for your dressing, you want to use a ground black pepper.
Okay.
And then also for the fresh limes that you're using, I actually get lime zest
Okay.
of half of one. That is gonna make it like really zesty when you take that dressing. So actually, I think it gives it a really nice flavor.
And how much lime zest was that? Just from one lime, or
Half of one.
Oh, half of one. Okay,
Yes.
half of a lime.
Right. And then obviously this is a cilantro infused dressing. So I'm actually using, for that pound of sour cream, I'm actually using 1 ounce of cilantro. And I took the stems out because you just want to get the leaves as much as you can. And so that's 1 ounce of that. So we're going to add it in here.
Okay.
Try to
Now you're
out.
doing this in a jar, but
Yes.
I'm assuming you could use a bowl. And
I prefer to use a jar because I think, if you use a bowl, you're gonna use an immersion blender,
okay.
and so if you use a bowl, I think it's a little more difficult to actually blend it,
And then you would have to transfer it to
and
a
then
jar
you have
anyway,
to transfer
right?
it. So you can actually do it here.
Okay.
And
that's
then,
just a large mason jar, right?
right. So here's our
With a
immersion
lid.
blender.
Mhm.
And so we're just going to slowly start to break things apart. And this is going to give us a really nice creamy texture. And slowly it's going to start to turn into like a lime green color. Uh, okay, so I just break things. And so now I'm going to add my extra virgin olive oil.
Okay. And how much of that?
We're going to use 1 tablespoon.
Okay.
And so we'll start with our oil. I like this um, dispensers.
Yeah.
That's really nice. Okay, so here's our oil.
Those, I think I got those at Target.
Really?
And I think they're the Threshold brand. No,
Nice.
Hearth and Hand.
I like how it comes
Yeah,
in with the
Hearth and Hand.
name. So like you're,
Yeah,
you
it
know
says
what you're,
that,
right?
yeah.
And so now we're going to add 1 tablespoon of vinegar, white vinegar.
Okay.
And so what's going to happen here is that between the lime juice and the vinegar is going to drop the pH of the dressing. And this is going to give us up to 9 days of shelf life.
So that's wine vinegar?
Is white wine
Oh,
vinegar.
white wine vinegar. Okay.
Right. So those are all of our ingredients. So one thing that I want to point out, I tend not to add a lot of salt because I think people, they have a preference. And so in most of my ingredients, including the medley, I didn't add any salt because the black beans that you're going to get usually come in high in sodium. But I try to find like lower sodium black beans, and same thing with the corn.
Mhm.
And I play with the ingredients, the garlic powder, the onion powder, the lime juice, and so those things are going to give it flavor.
Mhm.
Now, if you want to add a little bit of salt to taste, you can do that. That
So
smells
you
really
use
good.
the immersion blender for about a minute or two?
I would say, yeah, it's going to be between a minute to two. You want to take your time. But a couple of things that I'm going to point out when you're blending right now, it's going to look a little bit, the viscosity is going to be a little runny. But remember, between um, the vinegar and the oil, once it goes into the fridge, it's actually going to solidify a little bit.
Okay.
And so if you want to add a little bit of water to make it a little more runny, you can do that. So just heads up on that. I tend to add like maybe a quarter of a cup of water before I put it in the fridge.
And how
All
long
right.
do you have to keep it in the refrigerator before you use it?
Actually, it's ready to use. You can
Oh,
actually
okay.
use it now, but obviously, if you're not going to serve it, you want to put it in the fridge right away just because of the sour cream.
Mhm.
You don't want to leave it out. So let's give it a taste.
I was going to say you have some leaves here.
On the side. Yeah, you probably want to use a spatula to push them down,
Yeah.
but let's give it a taste.
Okay.
Look at
Yeah,
the
I
color.
always say make sure you taste.
Look at that color.
It's very pretty. Mm. Mm.
It's really fresh
I
and
like it.
zesty.
Hmm.
So I think it needs. We'll probably add about a quarter of a teaspoon of salt,
Yeah.
and that should be more than enough.
Should we add the salt now, or should we add it when
Let's
we add?
let's add it now.
Okay. And you said how much?
Let's use a fourth of a teaspoon
Okay.
of salt. And you can use regular table salt, or you can use kosher salt, or you can just use
Can you use sea salt?
sea salt. It's up to you.
Okay.
We're using kosher salt.
Now you're just adding a little bit right now, and of course it's to taste. So if
Right.
you're someone that likes it a little saltier,
You can do more. All right.
it's just us, so we could double dip.
That's enough for me.
Oh yeah,
That's good.
I think it's fine.
And that was
I
just a
think it's
fourth of
perfect.
a teaspoon.
Yeah,
So
and that made
big
a difference. So
Yeah.
I mean, it still has great taste, but
Right.
very zesty.
Okay.
Love it. Very good.
All right. So we got our dressing ready.
All right.
So we can fix up our plates and serve the bowl.
Awesome. Let's fix
Right.
up our plates.
Hey guys, we're back. So we got all of our ingredients ready. So I'm going to fix Doug's plate right now. And we're going to start with our base, which is going to be our rice. And I like to get this is a 2-ounce scoop. And you just want to portion it on around the middle. So usually a serving size, you want to do anywhere between 2 to 3.5 ounces um, of your starch. In this case, it will be your rice. That should be a good serving size. And so we do that. And then I'm gonna fix up my side over here, right in the middle. 1.5. Okay. Now we're going to do our, I call this a fiesta salad, but it's a roasted poblano um, medley. And so you got all of your ingredients here. So we're going to portion that right in the middle. Look at that. That looks very pretty. We'll do a full tablespoon there. Okay. And then I actually like the baby arugula because it's a little bit peppery. So we're gonna put a little bit on the side. It looks very pretty. And now we're gonna do our shrimp. I get about 4 to 5 pieces here. 2, 3, 4, 5. That smells really good. And the reason why I like to do the poblano roasted is because it gives it a really smoky flavor. And so you have, the presentation looks really nice here. And then here's our dressing. So we want to give it a really nice coating all around. There we go. I like my dish a little bit with the spice. So I actually got some fresh jalapenos. I think they go really well with this salad. So we're gonna add a few just to give it a little bit of heat. And then we'll get some fresh crushed pepper. And there you have it. These are ready to go.
All right, so now we're ready for a taste test. So cheers.
Cheers.
And this delicious drink, what's it called again?
So I call it an agua fresca, but I actually do these wellness shots, and it's basically I get ginger root, cucumber,
Ginger root?
fresh ginger.
Oh, okay.
You'll blend it with cucumber, a green apple.
Okay.
I have green apple in there, and then I have fresh mint as well and lime juice.
Nice.
And so when you blend it, then you put it through a strainer so you can get the juice. And I put a little bit of water and then just put it in a mason's jar. And every morning I take a shot, or actually I use it to make some cocktails. And that's what we're drinking right now.
So good.
You get your favorite, if you have a favorite drink like vodka, Malibu rum, tequila, you can just add it and you have a cocktail.
And Yvonne, can you tell us why this is considered a healthy meal? Why is this healthy?
I think it's high in protein, so you're gonna get your fiber, and it's basically you're making it at home, so you're in control of your spices, amount of sodium, and the dressing. I get the cleanest ingredients possible. I think whenever you go eat out, you're gonna get nothing but sugar. So we try to get as much clean as possible. So I think it's a good option for you to add to your menu if you want to make something at home, and just get your protein, your calories, and be in control of your calories. So
awesome. Well, I can't wait to taste it.
All right. Now I didn't add jalapenos to yours because you can't handle spicy food. So one thing that I try with this dish, if you want to be in control of your carbs, you can actually substitute the rice for cauliflower rice. Cauliflower will take the flavor of anything you're gonna add, any spices. So that would be one way to clean it up a little bit more. But if you want to get your carbs, you can use rice. In this dish, we're using jasmine rice, or you can use basmati rice.
So that was jasmine rice we used,
This
right?
is jasmine rice. Yeah.
This is so delicious. I love the arugula with it because the arugula is a little peppery.
That's
Mm.
good.
And what was that spice again that we put on the shrimp? What was the name of that?
So a lot of times you
Mm.
you want to get your paprika, chili powder, onion powder, and so I found this ingredient that is called rotisserie spice.
Mm-hmm.
And I use it for a lot of marinades. So you can actually just get it from Amazon,
Okay.
and instead of carrying like many different spices, which we have,
Right.
um, but I like it because
Mm.
you can just get one versus like having three different or four different portions. So um, this is the basically what we use to marinate the
Mm.
shrimp, um, in just extra virgin olive oil.
I love this.
You like
Now
it?
you said it could be warmed, right?
You can warm it up as well. Obviously, you don't want to warm it up with the arugula.
Right.
You can just add it after.
And you wouldn't heat it up with the dressing either.
Correct.
Yeah.
You can
But
add those things later after you
I'm
warm it up.
telling you, eating it cold is really delicious. Mm. I love it. So
If
good.
if you're doing meal prepping, you
Mm-hmm.
can actually, um, make this meal and
Mm-hmm.
then, have it ready to go. If you go to the office, you're on the go. You can eat it hot or cold. Um, so a little hint: this might be one of my new menu recipes at Garden Cup. So
Oh,
stay tuned.
and you guys
You
have a
might be able
recipe.
to order it
That's
as well.
awesome. Yeah. So I want to just let you guys know something that we're going to do in the future. The next time we do a video with Yvonne, because he said he's going to do what, 2 more videos, we are going to start putting out our email. So if you want to email us questions, what we'll do is we'll pick a day and we will do a video and just go through some of the questions. Of course, please make it appropriate, and um, and we'll kind of discuss the answers. If you want to know a little bit more about us, if you want to know about food, Yvonne is he's a chef, so he knows a lot about food. I'm a home cook. I'm basically your typical home cook. A lot of my recipes I got from my mom, and also I get some ideas from Yvonne too, of course. But we're going to put out our email, and probably I don't know, it's in the future, and then you can write to us, and we'll do a video and answer your questions. And I hope you really enjoyed today's show with Chef Yvonne. Thank you, Yvonne.
You're welcome.
Cheers.
Cheers. I hope you guys enjoy it.
Mm. Thank you so much for joining us today. And like I always say, if you want that homey vibe, you need to
Yes.
subscribe. And please give this video a like. Until next time, my friends, or our friends, happy, healthy living.
Bye bye.
Bye bye. So good.